What is a solstice? Welcome, students. Today, we are delving into the fascinating topic of solstices, an astronomical phenomenon that not only shapes the flow of our seasons, but also connects us to ancient cultures and the vast cosmos. By the end of this class, you'll not only understand what a solstice is, but also appreciate its significance in science, culture, and our everyday lives. Let's start with the origins of the word itself. The term solstice comes from the Latin sol, sun, and stidium, standing still, referring to the sun's perceived pause in movement in the sky during these events. Twice a year, in June and December, the sun appears to stand still at its highest or lowest point in the sky. But what causes this phenomenon, and how does it affect us? A solstice occurs due to the tilt of Earth's axis of rotation, which is set at an angle of approximately 23.5 degrees relative to its orbit around the sun. This tilt is critical in creating Earth's seasons as we journey around the sun each year. During a solstice, the sun reaches its farthest, or closest, point relative to the celestial equator, depending on where you are on the planet. Imagine the Earth as a giant spinning top, leaning as it orbits the sun. This lean determines how much sunlight each hemisphere receives throughout the year. During the solstice, the hemisphere tilted toward the sun experiences its longest day of the year, while the opposite hemisphere faces the shortest day. This striking interplay of light and darkness literally defines the rhythm of our seasons. Let's zoom in on the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. Students, have you ever noticed how some days seem to fly by in daylight during winter? That shorter daytime window is all because of the solstice. In the Southern Hemisphere, this occurs in June, when the sun's path is at its lowest angle relative to the equator, and the region receives the least solar radiation. Meteorologist Patricia Casoli explains that this phenomenon is shaped by Earth's elliptical orbit and axial tilt. In contrast, during this time, the Northern Hemisphere enjoys the summer solstice, with its longest day and shortest night. These opposite seasons, depending on the hemisphere, clearly show how interconnected we all are, experiencing the same phenomenon in entirely different ways. For instance, while sunbathers in Brazil experience the height of summer in December, chilly evenings and winter cheer dominate in places like Canada. To fully grasp solstices, let's compare them to equinoxes, another astronomical term you may have heard. Equinoxes occur twice a year, around March and September, when the sun is directly above the equator. During this time, day and night are nearly equal in length globally. Here's an important pattern for you to remember. After the autumn equinox, days grow shorter and shorter until they culminate in the winter solstice. Then, the cycle begins to reverse. Days start lengthening again on the journey toward the spring equinox. These natural cycles are a testament to the rhythm of Earth's movement and the precision with which our planet interacts with the sun. Now, let's focus on what happens after the winter solstice. Students, have you ever noticed how, after the darkest days of winter, you slowly start seeing sunlight returning earlier each morning? This steady reclaiming of daylight leads us toward the spring, and eventually, the summer solstice. Spring balances daylight and darkness, ushering in warmer weather and invigorating life in nature. Then comes the summer solstice, which falls on December 21st in the Southern Hemisphere. On this longest day of the year, locations like Brazil experience maximum hours of daylight, bringing in plenty of sunshine. Beyond the astronomical significance, sunlight impacts everything from human behavior and mood to sleep and health. Studies show that more exposure to sunlight can improve vitamin D levels, boost energy, and even positively influence how we feel. The lengthening days also shape activities like farming, as growing seasons align with the sun's availability. Solstices have held a special place in human history, shaping cultures and traditions for millennia. Ancient civilizations such as the Mayans, Egyptians, and Druids designed calendars based on these celestial markers. Structures like Stonehenge in England and Mexico's Pyramid of Kukulkan were built to align with the sun during solstices, serving both as scientific observatories and ceremonial spaces. In the Northern Hemisphere, the winter solstice also features prominently in festivals like Yule, a pagan celebration that later influenced Christmas traditions. Meanwhile, in the Southern Hemisphere, indigenous peoples honor the solstices with rituals welcoming sunlight's return or seeking harmonization with nature's cycles. The solstice is not just a scientific marker. It connects humanity across time, showing how people from past and present celebrate their bond with the cosmos. In today's world, solstices are more than historic marvels. They remain crucial to our understanding of Earth's dynamics. Scientists study solstices to examine Earth's tilt and its effects on climate patterns. Precise calculations for solstices allow us to design accurate calendars, agricultural schedules, and even space missions. Advanced technologies now let us pinpoint the exact moment of the solstice and assess the global impact of this phenomenon. For example, farmers rely on solstices for planting and harvesting crops, while meteorologists study the seasons to anticipate climate trends more effectively. Solstices, as simple as they may seem, are essential to modern society's day-to-day workings. Students, solstices are far more than mere astronomical events. They represent the beautiful harmony between our planet and the vast cosmos. They remind us of life's cycles, balancing light and darkness and symbolizing renewal and growth. By understanding the science behind solstices, we deepen our appreciation for the natural order surrounding us, from the tilt of Earth's axis to the rhythm of our seasons. Here's something to consider. How will you celebrate the next solstice? Take this opportunity to reconnect with nature by watching a sunrise, journaling about the beauty of sunlight, or gathering with friends and family under the open sky. You could even research cultural solstice celebrations and share what you learn with others. Most importantly, let's cultivate curiosity and wonder toward how celestial movements shape our world. Now that we've explored this topic together, I hope you carry forward not only an understanding of solstices, but also a deeper admiration for the universe's complexity. Remember, the cycles of light and darkness are more than a science lesson. They're an enduring link between humanity and the cosmos. If you liked the content, comment and share with friends.